everyone, and welcome back to another edition of the Gamma Ray Podcast. I'm Tim, hanging out with Justin and Tim.
How's it going?
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys, and this week we are wrapping up our series on Heaven's Gate. This is Heaven's Gate Part 2.
Yeah, this is going to be the good one.
Yeah.
This is where we're
Where all
getting
the the details are.
deep end of crazy.
Like Heaven's Gate, like that sounds like a TV show in the 80s with like Michael Landon. You know what I mean? Like I just
Oh
feel
my
like
God, dude.
that's what I'm thinking about every time.
100%. 100%.
Right. At the very least, you could say about these guys is that they weren't like one of the dangerous ones.
Not to-
I mean,
Well, in terms of
Yeah.
like to other people outside of the cult.
oh yeah, okay.
I'm saying like
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, don't they call
there's
those
other
they call those people recruits, man.
Yeah,
Those are the people that still haven't joined the cult yet.
and yeah,
There's
but
no
they
way-
got a whole part.
yeah,
of the
but there was
cult.
no like trying to start World War III or
Oh yeah, like bring back the
Yeah.
Antichrist or something.
yeah, stuff like that. There's
That
nothing
kind of shit.
Yeah, they had their own gig going.
Right. All right. And so, all right. So, like when we last left these guys, Applewhite had just met Bonnie Nettles, and the two had become like instantly best friends. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
you do in
hands
like
down.
middle school when you meet a kid that's got like the same kind of shoes on, and you're like, oh, we're fucking
Friends
best
for
friends
life.
now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And the two had become, you know, like I said, fast friends, and they started to construct like a framework essentially of what would ultimately be their new belief structure, life calling, spiritual journey, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? They were really starting to kind of put the whole shit together of what they were going to go out and start telling people.
I would have loved to have been in on them conversations.
Oh my God.
it must
a lot
have
of
been insane.
a lot of
Like,
a lot of spitballing, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's like, dude, am I on acid? Did I go down the rabbit hole?
Just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. That's really all you're doing.
Sounds good to me.
So back to the beginning of the two's like blossoming relationship, right? Applewhite looked at Nettles as almost like his soulmate. Like he had met the person he was supposed to meet in
yeah,
life.
she was his perfect like the perfect person for him.
Yeah. And I think a lot of this kind of stuff, even with like other cults, is timing. You know what I mean? Like they did it at the time to where it would have worked. And like,
Oh yeah, if they would have
and-
tried that now, it would not have gone.
not this
over.
kind of stuff, I don't think. Or like Jonestown or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have worked that way anymore. But like he met Nettles at the perfect time in his life where he was like really gonna buy into some shit like this. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
that
'cause he was down hard.
right.
Like,
You know,
by
they
the
were
time
getting
he
like,
ran
you
into
know,
it.
she's like talking to fucking extraterrestrials and getting messages. He's like, love it.
Yeah,
I'm in 100%.
it's like my life was shit to this point.
Meant
So-
nothing.
Yeah,
All that
why not?
college.
Why not aliens?
Yeah, me teaching those kids. This is nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
This is definitely the higher calling.
Like due to the bond though, like Nettles and her alleged connection to, like you said, extraterrestrials and their quote unquote divine message, right? Like this,
It's always divine.
it's always coming from a higher power,
Yeah,
and you know, greatly are influenced already by this, a spiraling Applewhite, and it fed right into his fucking trip into delusion, man. Like this dude was on the train to Crazy Town. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he
like-
was ready.
He's like, man, you had me sold to extraterrestrials. Let's
Yeah.
go. You know, like that's done deal.
like fuck it. You know, your crazy matches my crazy. So, why not?
Yeah, but I feel like those are like Super Saiyan levels of insanity. You know what I mean? Where it's like their power level is like 1,000,000. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's insane, dude. Like it's super fucking crazy. And like, all right, so soon after, you know, we're kind of recapping a little bit. So soon after they met, they moved in with one another. Nels got divorced, you know, that kind of stuff. But what they also did is that they opened up a bookstore of all fucking things called the Christian Art Center. Now, while you're like thinking, okay, Christian Art Center, they probably sell Christian books like
Yeah,
the Bible, for instance, you know, where a lot of their fucking
Faith-based books.
came from, you know, it was a lot of that kind of stuff. more like revelations and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's more what they were into. But they actually like sold like a ton of different spiritual background books, like because they were not just like into the Bible kind of stuff, and they were into mysticism and theology and all that kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they were kind of all over the map.
Now it needs to be stated too that this store didn't last very long. Like,
Well, yeah, but them types of stores very rarely do.
Yeah. Do you think
No,
it would do
I-
all right in Texas?
oh yeah,
Well,
of all places.
You're playing
But
to
I
your
don't think-
audience.
I don't think the store they didn't like start it as like we're planning on this thing lasting years.
No,
I
absolutely
mean,
not.
dude, you gotta understand, like even at BAM, that whole section's like labeled New Age. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
all that mysticism and crystals, witchcraft, whatever, whatever it may be.
I'm really surprised that crystals don't play a bigger part in this story. I
Yeah,
figured
me
they
too.
would.
Like
figure
that's
they
how
would.
should
They
be-
don't play. They're never once mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, dude. If you're gonna go
Yeah.
aliens and astrology, they
Why
double
not
down
go-
with crystals.
Yeah, why not
man.
go crystals? You catch their
You know what I mean?
vibrations.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it just seems like it's like the most new wave thing to do. You know what I mean? Is to have crystals around you at all
I don't know.
times.
Were crystals that big of a thing back in like the 70s?
Crystals have been a thing forever.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is like
Crystals still
new
are a thing.
age. No, I meant like a new agey.
Yeah, the new agey stuff kind of came around probably, got big, probably started around 50s, 60s.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't know
it was,
crystals were kind of a newer,
the alternative
90s,
crowd.
80s, 90s kind of thing.
like the whole commune with nature shit and all that witchcraft.
I don't know about
Yeah.
you. Every time I see a crystal, I'm just like, that's just a rock.
Yeah,
It is
I
a
see
fucking
nothing-
rock. What do you mean?
That's just like there's nothing cool about it. It's just a fucking rock.
It's a shiny rock.
Yeah, but
Well, dude, that's how I feel about diamonds. When you have to buy a chick a diamond, I'm like, I can't believe I'm paying this kind of money for a clear rock that reflects light.
No. What you're saying is, I can't believe I'm spending this amount of money to make somebody happy.
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah. For
I
a
didn't
clear
bother
rock,
with the diamond.
This is
for something
bullshit.
you dug out of the ground, I'm paying top dollar for it.
Did
I
they
bought
take
a
them out of
purple rock for mine. Yeah.
So fuck crystals.
All right, so they found the store, right? And they also founded a theosophy and mysticism venture, and they called it No Place, but KNOW. Get it?
Okay, I know
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say something, but that makes sense now, I guess.
And so, like, moving on to 1973 in February, and this is so, like, you're right. It did not last long. The bookstore thing, it fell apart as fast as you can imagine. Two insane people running a bookstore. Fucking failing. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They're not keeping up with their QuickBooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
They're not
No.
doing that. So Applewhites and Nettles made a decision. This is when they were like, okay, we're going to start traveling around telling people our story, right? But they really went to like a lot of like the western part of the country, like Oregon, California, the deserts, of course, all that kind of shit up in that area.
Yeah, I
You
mean, they
know-
were showing up at like the Christian rallies.
Yeah.
I see. I was just gonna say
Yeah, but it's
that's
like-
That's them states where they have them like tent revivals. And, you know
Yeah,
what I
so
mean?
that's these are
Yeah.
the kind those are the kind of places they were showing up at.
Right.
You know, they weren't showing up at, in the Walmart parking lot. They were going to places where people had some serious faith.
I think they
Yeah.
do great at Walmart.
Probably.
And I think you can take your pick at any Walmart. I don't
Especially,
think it's a,
especially 24-hour about 1, 2 in the morning.
oh, you're getting some recruits, bud.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they're a little flaky.
Diehards
They
Like-
might not show up.
to the death. These motherfuckers, like from the beginning.
They're very unreliable human beings.
You had me at cult.
That's all I needed to hear. Let's go.
And I mean, this is like a tough ride for these guys, though. So like they're out there doing that. They were kind of broke all the time, and they would run out of money often, right? So
Yeah, I
they're
can see
fucking
that.
broke, dude. And so what they would do is that they would start selling their blood for cash, right? Oy.
That's
I
crazy.
can't imagine they made a whole lot doing that.
Well, I bet you Nettles got a lot for hers once she told me that she was, in tune with aliens and had a divine message.
This is
So like,
special.
whoa.
Yeah, this is super blood right here, man.
I was always like, how much is it even worthwhile to like sit there for an hour? You know what I mean?
I mean, I imagine. I mean, in the 70s when
I-
this was happening, when gas was fucking 8 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. Yeah, a couple bucks will get you.
$20 get
Get
you
you
fucking
good
across
ways.
the country.
Yeah. In a hotel room.
Yeah. So they're selling their blood and they're picking up side jobs. Who the fuck? I'm sorry, dude. If you've seen Marshall Applewhite for real and Bonnie Nettles, you're not hiring these guys to do some like construction shit on your house. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
But I'm not gonna hire them to anything that puts an axe in their hand.
If you need them to
Hell no.
like, these are the guys like, okay, hey, I need you to like tend my garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are not the people you're like, here's some sharp objects or some blunt objects.
Yeah. I need you to keep an eye on my
Just go
koi
to town.
fish.
Yeah. Here's
You know
the
what I mean?
code to my house.
I need you to pet sit my koi fish, please. So so they were broke, and most of the time they were on the road, they were just camping. Like they weren't even staying in places, they were just camping out in the fucking woods. Because they couldn't afford hotels.
honestly, that's about as cheap as you can live.
Yeah, I mean they were
Mm.
pretty nomadic, and like
Most
even
campsites, they got showers, they got
well, it's glamping
yeah.
nowadays. But like they had like back then though too, like I said, hotels weren't that much. You know what I mean? But
Nothing was.
they cared more about what they were saying than how they were living, and they survived on like bread rolls and water. That's
Well, it's
literally
kinda-
was like a large part of their diet.
Well, it kind of like mirrors the whole martyr thing.
Yeah.
We have to suffer
Suffer.
for some way or other for our belief.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all
It's
part
like
of
an
it. though.
origin story.
Yeah, that's all part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, these guys just they so wholeheartedly believed in what they were doing. Probably didn't see a problem with it.
No,
Uh,
no, I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Now, while they're traveling, across the country trying to preach their message, they're also they're exploring other philosophical writings,
Right.
such as like Helena Blavatsky. Dude, they're even throwing in science fiction, right? Like from Arthur C. Clarke, for instance.
Okay.
So I mean, they're just taking all this stuff and just hodgepodging it together, trying to, right around this time too is when they get a rough outline of their new faith.
Right.
In essence, like pretty much, dude, these two are going to be the higher level minds compared
Of
to
course.
everybody else.
It's all
They
about
put
what you know.
themselves-
Yeah, and who you know
Yeah.
apparently.
Exactly. And they put and they were put here to fulfill like biblical prophecies.
Ain't they always?
Pretty much, yeah. They're always
Well, I think even like Helena Blavatsky was like some inspiration on Hitler, or like at least some of his
I think
cabinet
you're right,
members.
actually.
Like at least some of the other dudes, like
Yeah, but-
Himmler
yeah,
and shit.
But they were into like the whole mysticism and the cult thing big time.
Yeah.
yeah.
But not
So it makes sense.
like not only this though, but this is right around the time they start calling themselves the UFO 2
Oy.
or just simply the 2. Like so they're
Yeah.
starting to strip themselves of their identity even.
I'd,
and really
I'd
give
run with the
themselves some like mystic.
I'd run with the latter, dude. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
going with the UFO too.
Yeah.
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 But this
I-
is this is where they're starting to way I see it, dude. Like right around this time is when they're starting to throw away like their humanity for everybody else that can see it. You know what I mean?
Right. Fair enough.
Like, we are not people, we are messengers. Our names aren't important. This is
Right. It's bigger than
And-
us.
exactly.
is
So
it-
why do you even need to know our name?
Yeah, it's bigger than we are.
But yeah, they say it's bigger than we are, but they're the 2.
Well, there's a
Well,
message.
well-
Somebody's got to tell you.
Well, I
what's
guess
going on.
somebody's got to be the messenger, right?
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, yeah, like they believed in this so hard, they actually believed that they would have to die, be brought back, like brought back to life, and in front of other people would be transported onto the spaceship.
Are they just like flipping the guys off the whole way up because nobody believes them?
Shit. Like, fuck you.
I'm out of
Dude, what was the name of that movie with all the stars with the rapture? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, this is the end.
This is the end.
This
Yeah.
is the end, where he's like,
Yeah.
"Ah, fuck you," and then
Yeah.
God just cuts the damn light off on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
But
I
they
mean, do you think that's the part that came from the Christianity? The whole dying and coming back to life again?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it has to.
resurrection.
That's
Yeah.
dude. That's
It's not just a
Jesus.
it's not just a coincidence.
You know, that's a whole Jesus thing right there. They
Yeah.
definitely took that from it.
Right.
But they would
I
actually
mean,
end up
If I
calling
seen
this
that,
like,
dude, they'd have me hooked. I'd be like, oh shit.
no, I'll tell you what. If you die on my front yard, where I could tell you're dead, you resurrect and then fly into the sky.
Not just flying to the sky, buddy.
To a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Board
to
a
a
fucking
spaceship.
spaceship
All right, no, you got me. Where do I leave my kids?
with the click clacks,
And my
and now
wife.
you're flying around the galaxy,
Yeah.
getting in all kinds of adventures. I mean, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean,
Oh.
if that was happening, yes, I would.
I'd sign up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But they would actually end up calling this like momentous event that Applewhite and Nettle, yeah, they called it the demonstration.
App name.
Although a little on the nose, like I think
It's
you
very
coulda-
on the nose.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you're reading nothing but science fiction books. You couldn't come up with a better name for essentially Ascension.
I mean, they did say it was momentous.
Dude,
So
I could just see people in the crowd. It's like he's like, what are they doing? A demonstration.
Yeah, a demonstration of
called?
what?
well, yeah.
The demonstration.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, I love
Dude,
redundancy.
Dude, that's some like who's on first shit is
Yeah.
happening
Yeah, it
in the
is.
crowd.
If there's one thing I like in my cults, it's redundancy.
Yeah.
But a large part of this theory, you know, it came from Nettles, and as we stated before, and the fact that, like, you know, Applewhite was arrested in '74
Okay.
in Texas for not returning a rental car he got in Missouri,
Classic.
because I can't remember what did he say. He said something along the lines of like,
It didn't
"I've
belong to
been
them.
given,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been given divine cause to keep the car or some shit like that."
Yeah. It's like his version of a cop that says, like, I need to commandeer your vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. That's what he told him.
Yeah. But
Like,
it's like the
God
UFO
told me I didn't
believer
have to bring
version
it
of
back.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like a sovereign citizen almost. You know what I mean? Like your laws don't apply to me,
Yeah.
Keon.
Yeah, exactly. I answer to a higher power.
Yeah, I'm rocking with aliens.
Yeah.
But while in jail, this is when Applewhite decided to remove the cult and mysticism from his and Nettle's theory and adopt ideas of like evolution and extraterrestrials.
See, that was a smart move, though.
Yeah,
Right.
between the two of them, it was a good move to do.
Well, you're getting rid of like your like magic beliefs of it and
Yes,
you're
absolutely.
trying to go almost right into logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like evolution. Okay, people can get on board with evolution. And
Yeah.
people, especially in the 70s and 80s and stuff like that, that's when like
100%
Aliens.
on board
Oh,
with
like
it.
Alien
aliens,
craze.
like believing in aliens wasn't like just for crazy people. It was starting to be like a
See,
Yeah.
in between the
mainstream
two
thing.
of these two as well, Applewhite was definitely more of the religious believer.
right. Well, she was at the
Nettles
time,
was always
too.
more about into outer space and aliens. He was the one that really had that,
right.
we need to bring, the Christ into it pretty much.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I would definitely say, and I think it's safe to say that Nettles was essentially the leader, and Applewhite was almost just one of the followers. He was
Like a
just the first.
disciple.
Yeah, I
almost.
mean, he definitely saw it that way.
Right.
Like, he was the face and she was the brains,
Yep.
essentially.
I think 100% that's true.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, the road, like this where they started, that road was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to convince people who believe in God, who don't even believe in God, that you need to follow me.
Yep.
Aliens are telling me there's a starship coming.
Yeah. They're
Believe
carbo loaded off bread rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All swole.
this is it's a hard sell. These guys never
It
got
is.
very big.
I mean, it is a hard sell. I mean, it was probably a smart move to get rid of the mysticism, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, it was.
Because I do agree with you that was a time when like science was cool now. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because it was all these big breakthroughs after breakthroughs.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. Like I completely understand.
Well, I
them
mean, you gotta
taking it
think
to the
too.
scientific.
Like
which,
this was
you know,
not
which is
long
easily-
after. This is not long after we went to the moon.
Yeah.
Like the space shit was going on like crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like all the Mercury missions and Apollo missions were going on. It was like again, like it went back to like the other thing with the other cults is timing.
Yeah.
Like the timing was right
The timing was right.
for people to believe this.
Well,
kind
and
of stuff.
plus, you got to understand too, when you're starting a cult, if what you're preaching isn't getting you anywhere, you have to adapt. You have to
Oh,
add
yeah.
new stuff in
Yeah.
there.
And
To
speaking
get
of
rid of the if you're realizing, hey, people aren't really going for the religious angle,
yeah, I gotta switch it up a
we
bit.
need to double down on the extraterrestrials
Yeah,
because we get more people who listen to us for at least longer
yeah,
when we talk about them.
yeah.
So
Speaking of-
this is
Speaking of
This-
cults, I just wanted to compliment Tim on the Charlie Manson look today. I mean, it's the wrong cult, but I appreciate the effort.
yeah.
It's my favorite.
wasn't gonna
If
site.
you
say
can see
anything
him,
right
he looks like a nerdier version of Charles Manson.
I look like if Charles Manson was handsome.
I wasn't gonna say anything because he knows where I live.
It's Charles Hanson. Yeah,
Yeah, Charles Hanson. Hey man,
it's his kid brother.
dude died. Somebody's got to take his spot, I guess.
But honestly, like, even though it was rough, their message was starting to reach people.
Sure.
So they're starting to get new recruits in. And before their arrest in May of 1974, they visited a friend in Houston, and the woman accepted Applewhite's and Nettles' teachings, and she was actually their first convert.
You know what, dude? And
She followed them first, and then
I'll give them credit. They went to probably the hardest place in America to start converting people off of mainstream religion into whatever the fuck they're doing. You know what I mean? Like
you would have
that's a hard ass place to do that, man.
much better time on the
Yeah.
North Coast.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Texas is literally the belt buckle. Of
Yeah,
the
no,
Bible
it
Belt.
is. It definitely is. Like,
You know what I mean?
these are some hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these are some hardcore Christians.
Yeah.
You're trying to convert into.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
are tent revival, Bible thumping Christians.
Yeah, these are the people
Yeah.
who believe in lay on of hands and
Yeah.
all
That's
that
what I
kind of
said.
stuff.
That's why I said they're the belt buckle of the Bible
Fucking-
Belt.
fucking rattles, you know what I mean? Fucking rattlesnakes.
Yeah, dude, yeah, they're getting like bit by rattlesnakes and
Yeah,
shit.
it's
It's
like-
like, what are you doing?
No. They don't get bit by them. They believe their faith is so strong that the God will stop the snake from biting them. Then it's always hilarious when they get bit in the fucking neck by one.
Yeah, it is. It's just like, motherfucker, I'm still a snake.
Yeah.
You know why that is? Because
That's what
God,
I do.
God invented intelligence.
Yeah.
And if you're that fucking stupid, he's just like, I don't know what you're
I'm
doing,
not
man.
going to save you.
I don't know what you're doing. Like,
Dude, yeah, it's like
I
it's
never
either
said
or-
that I would. I never said that I would stop that from happening.
Yeah,
No.
either that or
Where
that's
is it in my
Darwinism at
book?
its best.
That
Yeah,
says
you
I will
showed
stop
me-
a fucking snake.
Well, we paraphrased. It's like, what the fuck is happening around here? People
Who
are
the
fucking.
fuck worships with snakes? Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
You ever
this
see
new one
videos of that?
where you just
Yeah,
hold.
man, it's fucking
I just-
crazy.
I want to start one where you just hold a handful of fucking black widow spiders.
They just jump around a lot, move your hands, and
Just like fucking shake them real violently.
flick them in the. Just keep flicking them.
It's so insane.
And then go, wow, I wonder why it bit me.
I didn't.
He's a
bleed
witch.
I didn't bleed hard enough.
Yeah,
It's a fucking witch.
yeah. Then they drag you down to the creek,
Yeah.
put rocks on you.
Not only that, but you're swollen with snake venom.
So then, so to them it looks like you're mutating.
Yeah. Look.
That's hilarious.
He's turning into a blueberry.
Ugh. But-
Dude, God.
Well, Willy Wonka, dude.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
that's
dude,
hilarious.
this is insane.
Yo, these people were nuts, man. I mean, then Applewhite and his little buddy Nettles, they ended up moving to traveling to Oregon and Cali.
Where are you gonna find more people to join some shit like this?
Well,
in
see, this
Oregon
is
and
the thing,
California?
man. That's what I'm saying. This is the thing. Along the way, they started to pick up more followers. You know who else picked up more followers when he drove up and down California and Washington? Charles Manson.
You would know.
I'm just saying. I know for a fact that he traveled the mountains, man.
Yeah, I saw the postcards he sent you.
Personalized letters and everything.
Sending me selfies from the like giant redwood forest. Thinking of you. But I mean, think about it, bro. Like Oregon, Washington, California. That's only like,
Those are more progressive states.
They are.
yeah,
Admittedly.
but I mean, but it seems like they grow crazy in the mountains.
Yeah.
I think that might just be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you start getting into the mountains, you run into some,
yeah,
let's just say, interesting folk.
yeah. And there's gonna be some, dirt roads that you don't want to get lost down.
Yeah. Why do
What
I
phone around here are you, boy?
why do I feel like that dirt
No,
road
sir, I'm the
is just
fuck outta
it's just
here.
code for your anus? There's a lot of dirt roads.
Yeah. All of a sudden you hear this fucking banjo.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
You're like, oh,
all the-
man.
Why do I hear
Like,
banjo music
fuck,
all of a
dude.
sudden?
Thank God I got that exit symbol tattooed above my butt crack. Y'all told me it was stupid. Who's
Yep,
laughing
too
now?
bad. They can't read.
Oh God, yeah.
So you're fucked.
Oh God.
Yeah, but this is what they told them. They're like, that the group would be visited by extraterrestrials who would then provide the followers with new bodies that would be at a higher level of evolution than that of a normal human.
Yeah, and this is when, like, too, when they were telling everybody that you have to leave your mortal body, your Earth body, you'll get a new alien body, and you'll be brought to the alien's home world, where it's essentially paradise.
Yes.
So it's
So what they have, just like empty alien shells laying around? Kind of
yeah,
like
I
just
think it was
waiting-
something
just
like
waiting for our consciousness.
your soul would go to their ship, and they would reconstitute a body for you, essentially build it from the
Oh.
ground up.
Yeah. I think what it
But
was,
if they're a
it was
species.
it was just like they had like a bunch of redheaded guys like myself just hanging out. We don't have souls anyway, so we're just
Yeah,
hollow.
no, you don't. Just waiting.
We're just hollow. We're just hollow shells anyway. It's
Yeah,
just
we're just
waiting.
See,
empty
even
shells
this-
anyway.
See, even this mirrors religion.
100%.
Die, your soul heads up. When you
Yeah,
get
it's
there, you
always
have a new
up.
body, and it's paradise.
Unless you're
So all they
Satanist,
did
then I
was
guess
straight
it's
out
down.
God for extraterrestrials,
Yep.
and heaven for for whatever planet it was called. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the name of the planet they said they were going to.
Who?
Nettles
Nettles and
and
Applewhite.
Oh, Nettles?
Applewhite. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it once. I can't
Well,
remember
yeah,
the life of
it's-
me right now.
Well, basically, but they also told them, I mean, in addition, they convinced, I mean, it probably didn't take much, but that they were being represented by beings that hail from another planet, and that these
Yep.
beings were looking for volunteers for their experiments. Applewhite and Nettles call this planet the next level.
The next level.
Yeah, which is also
Fuck
never a
yeah.
good thing. You got some two creepy motherfuckers walk
So
up to
it's
you,
like,
and they go, "Hey, we need volunteers." Oh, for what, you may ask? Oh, for experiments.
yeah.
Oh, fucking what?
No. You misunderstand. It's not our experiments. It's the aliens.
Yeah.
I'd still be
It's
like,
oh,
Oh, okay. The
I'm
aliens.
not trying to get probed.
start with that. Why don't you lead in?
Yeah. Hey, put all the juicy information up front, then you know.
I mean,
Man, dude, it's like
Give me
it's
hooks
like a video
first.
game almost. It's like
you
it's
gotta
like
bait me.
powering up. You know what I mean?
It's so fucking
You're
nuts.
going to the next level. Oh shit! I must have cleared the Earth board.
Like you said, it probably didn't take a whole lot of convincing. I hope it took a lot of convincing.
Well,
see,
I
the
mean,
problem is that
they
if
had
you
him at this
fall for
point.
it,
I mean,
I
holy
mean, if
shit.
you're listening to them and 5 minutes in, you're like, damn, these guys have got some points. You're all right. They got you.
Tell me
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
I mean, the
Tell me
fact
more
is, if
about
you're
Because
what you're
these
sitting
telling
there-
me.
guys, because they were always looking for quality, not quantity.
That's true.
So they wanted all their fucking crazy talk. It was just weeding out all the people who were going to leave anyways.
Yeah.
So
That's
they
very-
only wanted the
yeah.
people who were going to stay no matter what.
Yep.
It's like they're like, fuck this. I'm going to join a better cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This cult sucks.
And they had that. They had people like, they were in there, then all of a sudden they just be like, fuck this place.
Well, I mean, they
Bounce
did
out.
gain another 25 followers or so, new ones from speaking at, a new age event.
Which I
And then
still
in
think is pretty
75, that was
high.
in 75. and
Well, I think there was
Oregon,
only like, and
they
I
gained
think
another 30. Take this journey with them.
right, and I think like there was like 50 altogether. Something like that. Like like at
Yeah, I
that
mean,
meeting,
their
there was only
numbers-
like 50. So they got like half of those motherfuckers, man.
Still,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
they
that
got, what,
seems pretty high.
what,
In two settings,
55?
you get 25 people in one and 30 in the other.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is a awful lot of gullible motherfuckers. Real quick.
Look
Well,
where
yeah.
they are.
True. I'm not gonna say anything. Well, they're at a new age event. Yeah, I guess you got
Look where they are, for Christ's sakes. They're ready to believe.
Yeah.
These are,
Anything.
the
They're
people
just
they're
wanting to
recruiting are the
believe
ones
something.
who want to move to Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
Like Christianity and them ain't crazy enough. They had to go search out new crazy.
Yeah, this ain't nearly insane enough, dude. I mean,
Yeah. They're like, what?
your shit makes too much sense.
Everlasting peace and resurrection, huh?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
looking for
fuck that.
real.
We got
fucking-
aliens, man.
I'm looking for
Yeah.
real fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for off the wall, like just bonkers shit going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Fucking one flew over the cuckoo's nest level fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I want somebody doing the Thorazine shuffle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After so many less faithful followers would fall off, per norm. I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
yeah, this happened a lot with these guys. They lose like giant chunks.
I don't get why.
Well, what it was is Nettles and Applewhite, they had a tendency to change what they were preaching throughout the years.
Yeah.
So what end up happening is these people they jump on because, oh cool, aliens are coming, but then they change it up, they throw a little bit more religion into it, and that's when they are like, yo, okay.
Yeah, it was like, this ain't the crazy you promised me.
Yeah, pretty much. And so every time they changed the script a little, they lose a bunch of people, then gain a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a constant influx out and out.
Yep. I'm sure they still had their core though.
Yeah, I mean,
Like the
still
people that
have
were going to be
people-
there to the end were
Yeah, they always
probably
do.
are.
Yeah,
I mean,
you always got those 20 or 30 that are like just diehards.
Yep.
I mean, dude, they had people who were disillusioned, they left, and then a few years later came back.
Like when they thought about it, like
Yeah, they thought about it a little bit. Hold on,
Like,
I kind of miss those
Oh, man.
guys.
Like
yeah,
they had all that time to think about it, to like ponder it and to think it
Yeah.
over, and they're like, "I'm going back."
that's when they went and joined another cult. And they're
Holy
like, "Yo,
fuck!
this cult sucks. My other cult was way better
Oh
than
my
this."
god, dude,
It's
you
like, at
are
least
a
they got
special
aliens.
This is
kind
like a-
of- you're a special kind of fucked up, dude. If
Yeah,
you, like,
yeah.
if you do that,
Like, this is a 1-star cult. Heaven's Gate was a 4-star cult.
4-star cult. Yeah, I'm going back with the real crazy.
almighty
But-
man.
No, of course, the old members, as they always do, I think, with every cult, they start throwing, like accusations and claims that, brainwashing by Applewhite and Nettles.
Okay, all
But,
right.
okay,
I don't see
maybe-
that as being. I don't see that as being like out of the question. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
No way.
I mean, I said it a bunch of times about these two. Like, I don't think it was intentional brainwashing. I think they just believed it so much and they talked with it with such like fervency
Yeah.
that people were like, dude, these dudes are on to something.
Yeah.
You know what
At
I mean?
least
And then
in the
they just started
beginning.
buying everything they were selling.
They were trying to get people recruited because they truly believed what they were saying.
You're right, for sure they did.
And you know, like you mentioned with their core, you know, with their core believers, you know,
They can say whatever the
It
hell they
goes-
want. And they're
it
going
goes
to
right back to that point where like they also believed it because
They believed in what Applewhite and Nettles.
because Applewhite and Nettles believed so much
Yeah,
in what they thought. They're like, well, man, if they believe it that much, there's got to be something to this.
yeah,
But you know, but see, here we go again for the era, man. You know, because these were like New Age beliefs.
yeah.
You know, and the follow, and you know, and I mean, I don't know. I guess you could kind of call them maybe kind of young for cult leaders.
They were young. Their followers were younger than
Well, I
them.
mean, during the time,
Younger.
what was he? Only 30? He was in
Yeah.
his 30s.
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't that
He
old.
wasn't real old.
Yeah. So, you know, some of the younger, you know, probably kids in their late teens, early 20s,
Yeah,
probably like, yo, these two fucking, you know,
yeah,
they onto something, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was the time of, you know, like I said, you know, like we've mentioned, you know, repeatedly, it was the era. New Age things were like in. It was like cool to be into something that wasn't mainstream religion.
right. Well, see, like around this time, like I mean, like Nettles and Applewhite are in like their early 40s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're not like old folks. You know what I mean? They are like
They're still
wizened.
fairly
with-
young.
Yeah, they're not like wizened with fucking decades and decades and decades of fucking life experience. You know?
Yeah. They're not no man on a mountain with a stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like looking like
I
a
mean, for
fucking
shit,
hobbit.
for fuck's sake, most of Applewood's adult life was spent in college,
Yeah,
or
I
college
mean,
is
He was
teaching.
well educated. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he was well educated.
Yeah,
But you know, but see, this is why I think, you know, it kind of contradicts itself almost with the disgruntled members.
Hmm.
Because they say they put the importance on free will and staying because you thought it was the right thing to do. You know, instead of them trying to keep them there
yeah,
almost like a captive, like, you know.
yeah. It goes back to that quality over quantity thing they were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Well, see what these two were doing. They were giving people the illusion of choice.
Yeah. So that's when they would like sit
if
and
you
watch
don't believe in
TV.
us, you can leave.
Yeah, I remember one story where
You
they
know.
were like Applewhite would sit and watch like science fiction shows like a fucking nerd with the group members, like Star Trek and shit like that, and then be like, "This is some of this shit we believe in," you know, some of this kind of stuff, and then he would call that like the illusion of choice, like this is the kind of stuff like you can believe in the
Yeah.
shit that we believe in, or you can take off.
Yeah.
It's
But
up to you.
I mean, they would give them the option to leave.
Yeah.
They'd be like, you know,
Well, right now, anyways. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. At this point.
And this is how they were, you know, the quote unquote brainwashing was happening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know,
Because
but was it
These
also
people
a way-
honestly believed that they could leave whenever they wanted.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, but,
that's
you
because
know-
that's what that's how it happened.
Right.
It made you think you could do it.
Yes.
But does this also go back to, you know, this is where they weed out the wannabes?
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure there was a lot of people back then, just like there are now, that are just followers. They want to
Yeah.
be a part of something. They don't really care what it is.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
want
So you're
them
gonna
all.
have those
Yeah.
people who are wishy-washy, you know.
Yeah,
they-
exactly.
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're
people
down
like,
with
I
it for a
thought this
couple
is what I
months, maybe a
wanted.
Go
year, and
Yeah.
figure that some new age person in the 70s would be a little bit flaky. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, they were flaky enough to take on the names Bo and Pete.
Yeah,
As a
God
thought of-
almighty.
yeah.
They thought of themselves as shepherds of the 70 followers they had. That was the flock.
Oh my God.
You know, right back to
70's
Yeah.
respectable. That's a respectable number.
Yeah.
you got a flock and Bo and Pete.
I mean, it's not Jonestown, you know, fucking almost 1,000.
1,000.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Uh,
mean? But
Shinrikyo.
yeah, Uncle
They
Rico
had
a lot
like
too.
1,500 or plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
To say like they were kind of on the smaller side for a cult.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, it's almost like this is like a niche cult.
Yeah, it's
You
like an
know,
exclusive
like-
cult.
Yeah, it's like
It members
yo,
only.
This,
Yeah.
yeah, this ain't for all
They
the
had the
crazy.
members only
This is
jacket
just
and
for-
everything.
Yo, I got a members only jacket, motherfucker. Like, don't go down that road. And that shit is hot. You understand what I'm saying?
You
I
know,
can't
it's
wait for it to
yo,
get cold.
You must be the only member.
He is. I'm not mistaken, isn't it like silver?
No, it's
Or
it's,
I'm thinking of the other one.
no, it's classic, dude. It's tan.
Ah,
It's khaki.
didn't you
yeah.
have a
it's
silver
good.
like members only jacket a few years back?
Maybe in your fucking dreams, that's where I had it, buddy. But
No, I promise
in
you,
real
it lined
life.
up in my dreams. But, dude, like speaking
But,
of their
you know-
names, it was only 1 year later. The Applewhite Nettles decided they wanted to go by their final iteration, which is Doe and T.
huh. Okay.
So they shortened it even more from Bo and Peak. They're just
Yeah,
like, yo, that
yeah.
takes too long to say.
Yeah.
I think it was
So
like the whole
funny.
Faso La Di Doe.
Well, I
or
think it was
however the
part
fuck
of
you
like
say
their
that.
religion. They just hated odd numbers. I don't like 3-letter words.
Yeah.
And I don't like
But this is
5-letter words.
for no apparent reason because they honestly believed that their names were essentially useless.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Like label.
Like I was saying earlier, yeah, they just their names couldn't matter.
Yep,
any
it
less.
didn't matter in the least.
Well, this is where I have a question. Now, okay, when they die and they take over their alien host, the aliens don't have names?
I'm sure
Yeah,
they
Doe
do.
and
Like how
T.
they talk to each other.
There's Doe and T, and then there's Bo and there's P.
All right. Hey,
I'm like,
if you're gonna
you know,
try
you
to
got an
blow
entire
holes in
alien
this, all right,
civilization.
you could go on. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
If you want to be a negative Nancy,
Yeah.
get on get. All right.
Well, I think they also like made their followers change their names too a bit. Like they had to change it from their Christian name, no pun intended. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
yeah,
they had
Yeah,
to change their
their
names. too.
government name.
Yeah.
What
Like,
was
oh,
it? It was
Like OV or something like that. They always put like OVY at the end or something like that.
yeah. So
Or SVY. Like they had
I
to put
think it was
some
OVY,
weird. Yeah, they had to put some like weird combination of letters at the end of
and it
their
was
name.
always like nothing that sounded anything like an actual name.
No, it sounded more like
They
outer
just throw a
spacey.
bunch of random letters and then
It
put
sounded
OV.
more
at the
on
end.
science fiction-y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't forget, Applewhite's a fucking nerd.
yeah.
He's a fucking nerd, dude. Like,
But see, you're also
I love
forgetting that
I love
Nettles-
going to school and doing homework and fucking science fiction.
Yeah.
Well,
But see,
yeah.
Nettles was really the one that was forgetting that part. She
Yeah.
was the one that was really driving home the science fiction part of it.
Yep.
Like we
That's
said
right.
before, she's the brains.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
what do you expect? She probably grew up watching like Buck Rogers in the 25th century. You know, I mean, that's when Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
Showing your age a little bit because I've never heard of that. Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
I
whatever
think
the
he's
hell you
thinking of
just
Duck
said.
Dodgers,
No, it's Buck
like from
Rogers.
Looney Tunes. I think that's what he's thinking about.
Where do you think they got the parody from?
Oh, dude, he's talking about Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
Flash
Flash
Gordon.
Thompson.
Flash
Not Flash
Gordon.
Thompson. Flash Thompson's
I knew
Spider-Man.
exactly who you meant. I knew exactly who you meant though.
Who's nerd showing
Flash.
now?
Ah.
But
I think
anyways,
that was Queen that sung that song too,
It
wasn't it?
was.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Fucking nailed it.
Dude, that movie is so fucking bad. Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
Dude, the song is great. I
gonna
love
show
that
my
song.
fucking
I do
age
love
right
that
here.
song.
I saw that movie in the theater.
Dude, you old bitch. God almighty.
Dude, that's why I said I'm gonna show my age right now.
Oh,
I saw that shit in the theater, man, when I was like 13, 14.
if we
14,
had
something like that.
listeners under the age of 30, we just lost them right there.
yeah,
Right, they're gone.
they're googling what the fuck.
They're like that
Flash
AARP
isn't even-
motherfucker.
I'm gonna have to get like a 13-year-old kid opening toys on reviewing toys on here to fucking get them back. Jesus.
Oh, I'm not Flash Gordon, man.
Anyways, like right around this time is when they're starting to come into their own.
Right.
The cult is,
Sure.
and they're beginning to create a real structure.
Kind of like full
For all
steam
of it.
ahead kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Applewhite told his followers to become like pets or children under the two's complete control.
Yeah.
Of course. And there it is.
Yeah.
There's the second shoe that dropped.
Yep.
Yep. And their number one priority would be to comply to whatever command was given to them.
Dude, and yeah, absolutely. Like that's
So this
and
is
that
where
thing-
the-
like
like,
it transforms like right around this time is when it's transforming from like
A
spiritual group to fucking cult. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like this is where you start seeing the paradigm shift. a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
control. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. This is where
Yeah.
they're starting to weed out the people who aren't going to stay.
Right.
Because there's people who be digging, to be around.
Yeah.
But when you start going, you gotta start following every one of my commands.
Yeah.
Do what I say, when I say, how I say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like,
that's
They
cult
lost a bunch
status.
of people.
but again, it's like, what are they gonna do? Applewhite is fucking 85 pounds,
Yeah.
soaking wet. I mean, what is he gonna do?
True. I mean, these people, they think that they're the messengers
Oh, yeah.
of their saviors.
Okay.
So they're not gonna like physically do anything against this guy.
Just kick him the fuck out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like now these people they wouldn't even do it. They just left.
Okay.
Right when they started really cracking down, they lost a bunch of people.
Oh, okay.
But during the late 70s, right, the group all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came into a large sum of money. It was most likely it was either income from their followers, because it was the same thing: give us all your money, you don't need
Yep.
it.
Yeah, it is. Yep. You had to give up all the money.
Or it was an inheritance from one of their followers.
Either way.
Yeah.
Either
Either way,
long as
they didn't earn the money. They
I
were
mean,
given
that's a
it.
Jim Jonesy kind of thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind
That's
of like,
any
that's
cult leader
cult.
thing to do.
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that's cult leader 101 right there.
Yeah.
Get
give me
all the
your
money. Yeah. Number one.
Fuck all the bitches.
Yeah.
Wait a
You're
minute.
Top dog.
I thought cults were supposed to be bad. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, wait a minute. Oh,
He's like,
I
Really?
may have misjudged my entire life.
Shit, I like aliens.
Yeah. I'm super into UFOs and shit.
Yo,
I like
dude,
money. I like women.
and you can use Haley's comic for yours because it ain't coming for another 76 years.
Plenty
So
of
you'll
time.
be,
Yeah.
you'll be
Yeah,
long gone by the time.
we'll be dead by the time it shows
By
up.
the time they realize it's a fraud.
Yep. That's what I'm telling. Bury me with my fucking face down and my ass up, buddy.
But needless to say, dude, like with their new, their cash flow coming in,
Right.
they're able to purchase homes in Denver and in Dallas.
Okay.
Followers lived in 2 houses, while Applewhite and Nettles always had their own, no matter where they
It's
went.
not that far off from
Yeah,
Metal
it's
White.
really
They're
not.
pretty much the same person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well be. But no matter if they were in Denver, Dallas, whatever, those 2 always had their own home.
Of
All the
course.
followers had to live
Right.
together.
And they always had like their shades drawn and shit, so you couldn't see what they were doing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
they were
makes
super
sense.
secret in there.
This is all while, obviously while they're in Texas, because this is
Yep.
pretty much.
And I'm
where
sure they
all
probably
kinda
had the
went
better
down.
house out of the 3.
Of course they did.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You think the cult leaders could live in the shack and give everybody else the mansion?
No.
Like every time I think about that,
suffered for theirs.
like every time I think about their house, I feel like it's like that house from Full House. It looks like one of those houses in San Francisco. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it looks like. I don't know why, but maybe in my mind,
Inexplicably, like a 4-story house.
like that's what I wanted to look like. Like I will not accept anything other than that.
And even in the house, you got to live by levels. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the newbies are in
Everyone
the first
starts
level.
out in the basement.
Yeah.
When you prove your worth, you move up to
Move
the
you to
first
level
floor where the
1.
food is. Until then, you stay down there and starve.
Well, I think this is where Fight Club got that one scene where they beat the guy with a broom on the porch. Like all the new recruits that stand on the porch
Yeah.
get beat with a broom.
Dude, I forgot about that. It's been so long since I've seen
Yeah.
that movie.
That is hilarious. They come out every day and fucking thump on them.
Yeah, it is like berate them, make them feel bad.
Every day.
Well,
Nope.
one night, see, this is where the brainwashing that what they were being accused of really comes into play. Was one night, Applewhite and Nettles informed the group to wait outside because they're about to be visited by a UFO. So all their followers, this is what they've been waiting on.
Yeah, this is the whole reason why they joined.
Dude, okay, if I was there, I'm going to look, but I'm going to look skeptically.
But I'm gonna be there.
I'm gonna go.
But they knowing you be out there with a fucking video camera.
I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna just in case.
Just in case. I
Yes,
don't
I'm
want
gonna
to
be.
miss
I'm
it.
gonna. I'm gonna be squinting my eyes the whole time. Look, just not quite sure. Mm,
Well, obviously, he never showed up. So when they were asked about it, they were like, "Oh, hey, there was never going to be a UFO. This was a test of faith and obedience."
No, of course. it
And they
was.
had them standing outside all night.
Hey, it's a good out.
Yeah. I mean, at least the night wasn't
It's
wasted.
a pretty good out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah. It wasn't wasted. They got to watch the stars, see the
Yeah.
constellations.
Well, see, I mean, that's just another thing with cult leaders. Hey, I'm about to demonstrate my power. Oh, something else came up. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
When
Something
shit doesn't
out
go the
of
way
my
they
control.
expect it to go, they
You
just
guys
change,
didn't
they
believe
change
hard
it.
enough.
Yeah, they change it real quick. It's
You're
never
not
their
devout
fault.
enough.
It's never their fault.
No,
No,
yeah,
it's
of course
never
not.
once their fault. But due to these followers being conditioned in the way that they were, these two had absolute control and of all the recruits,
Yeah,
and their recruits were constantly seeking Applewhite and Nettles approval.
yeah. Like a
Well,
parent,
yeah, they're the big
Yeah,
like
dogs.
exactly.
a kid and or a pet.
Yeah, trying to be
Unfortunately, like a dog.
Yeah,
Look how
like a
proud
for your
surrogate-
approval.
surrogate
Look what I've
parent,
done. Aren't you
surrogate
proud of
master.
me? You know?
Yeah, when they bring you their toy and they
Yeah.
look at you and they're fucking, all stupid looking. Like
Look
that's
at- Look at
they're
me. Look at
trying
me.
to impress you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
trying to impress you.
So I mean, these guys, they 100% completed what they were going for.
Right. Oh yeah, they were hook, line, and sinker at this point, man. If you stood out there all fucking night and didn't leave after,
I'll tell you what,
Still
if you have me
believe.
stand
Yeah.
outside all fucking night and what is supposed to happen doesn't, I'm whooping your ass.
I can just like there it is. There it
I'm
is.
gonna be
Oh,
so
that's a
goddamn
plane.
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Oh,
Oh.
Yeah. All night long. That's what we had.
Oh.
Oh, that was headlights.
it's a
in the
weather
mountains.
balloon.
Yeah.
Why did we buy this house right next to the Dallas International Airport?
Yeah. Oh. Hey, at least they were faithful, man. You gotta give them. I mean, if nothing else, man, they could take a good nap afterwards.
Dude, good God.
Sleep the whole fucking day away and try again tomorrow.
But see, in the early 80s, is they started to relax a little bit on how strict they were being.
Right.
Because they had a strict no family contact rule.
Of course, because
yeah.
the families could pull them away if they sense something.
Yeah, they
was
would
wrong.
be able to
Absolutely.
break that hold they had on them.
Yep.
But they started letting them call their families and even visiting on Mother's Day,
Yeah.
Oh, that was
even
nice
though
of
like
them.
their visits were short. You know, it was like, how you doing? Bye, kind
It's like
of.
a jailhouse visit. You probably like seeing them through plexiglass.
Yeah. Well, they were allowed to leave because I think this was all again that illusion of choice. They spent so
Yeah.
long conditioning them. Now you got it's that like what's that
I
called?
mean, I guess the faithful would always come back.
Yeah.
That
they're gonna
Stockholm
come back.
syndrome,
Yeah.
where they believe, they
Like the
had 'em
Stockholm
conditioned
syndrome.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
where you love your captor essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean,
What a weird day to pick, too. Mother's Day.
yeah.
Like not like New Year's or Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Because I would think if anybody had the best chance of talking you out of something, it would be your mother.
Yeah.
So you would think it was odd that was.
Yeah, I
when they
think
were
that's
allowed.
all calculated. That's
Mhm.
why they
Oh,
did
man.
it.
Yeah,
What
but-
other
but-
what
because
other
if your
days
mom
do you
was
think were
able to
up for
talk-
debate? Was it like Flag Day? We got President's Day. You know,
Arbor.
or we got Arbor
Arbor
Day.
Day. Arbor
We
Day.
got Arbor Day. Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Bingo.
But here again though, is I think that's part of the conditioning.
Yeah, but see, they had to give
Like you said,
something
Yeah.
because
Your mother would be,
you know-
your parents would be able to convince you out of it. If
Yeah, but-
if your own mother wasn't able to do it and you came back,
Nobody can.
yeah, nobody
Exactly.
can at that point.
Yeah.
Plus,
'cause
plus
that
they
was
had to
all,
give
again,
them
the
something
illusion of choice.
because their prophecy basically was a failure.
Well, see, people's families were starting to get a little antsy
Right.
because they were normal. Then all of a sudden they join
Yep.
up with Applewhite, and then they cut off all contact.
Yeah.
And you got and now
That's
you got
time
my
and time
kids
again with
standing out in
cults.
the night catching cold,
Yeah.
looking for aliens.
I don't think they told that story, man.
No, probably not. They wouldn't. That. But you see it, like I said, time and time again with cults. The people join up, their families get worried, police get involved, investigators get,
Yeah, like PIs and shit. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then that's how they get broken
Because
down.
fam-
family
Yeah,
members
that's
can't
kinda
mind
what-
their own fucking business.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with Crush and all them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, their families were told that their followers were studying computers at a monastery to placate them.
What?
In an attempt to remove suspicion. Now, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I don't think that monasteries are rocking a full computer lab.
No,
Dude, that's like saying,
mean,
like,
especially in the 70s, they'd be lucky to have it fucking electricity.
yeah. I mean, I'm just like, what else is there? Like, oh, I'm studying the Bible. Oh, where? Oh, at this laboratory.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
it's
those,
just, something don't sound right. It's like
huh?
I'm studying
see-
computers at a monastery.
Yeah.
They were in
What?
Texas. Instead of saying monastery, they could have just said they were in one of the colleges.
Yeah. Nobody would have known any different.
Yeah, but
Oh,
what if they
yeah,
went there looking for him?
Yeah, that's a good point.
true. But then they,
What if they went to the monastery?
Yeah, it's got, actually, you got another.
it'd be a lot easier to figure out. If
Yeah,
somebody
why
was there
couldn't
or
they?
not.
Yeah, I think it would be a lot
There's
easier
only
to
one
find a
car here.
monastery in Texas.
Well, can you imagine like one of the family members like knocking on the door of a monastery, like, "Hey, where's your computer lab?"
Yeah.
They're just like,
It's one of
"Excuse
them
me."
ones where like they took a vow of silence and they got
Yeah,
like
they
a
don't talk.
chalkboard and shit. Like,
they just slammed the door in his face. Like, well, he might not talk, but you know, he's so rude as fuck. He just shut the goddamn door right in my face.
I mean, I'm sure, man.
It's
Monastery would be,
so stupid. Like
Yeah.
all of this is so stupid. I love it.
takes crazy to a whole new level.
So like, all right, so like everything seemed to be going well, right, until 1985. And this was the due to the death of Nettles. So she's done. Nettles is gone.
Oh, she's out the door.
Yeah, so she had cancer, and she had to have like cancer removed for like her eyeball, and then like literally like 2 years later she was dead. You know what I mean? So she had been diagnosed with cancer like well before that.
Yeah, they
And-
knew about it for a long time.
Yeah, so it wasn't. I don't think it was a surprise to Applewhite.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably a surprise to their followers.
Right, exactly. So like it was, yeah, to them it was devastating.
You know, they didn't tell them.
Yeah,
They didn't tell me I had cancer, no, because then
Yeah.
it makes you look human.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you can't be
You know,
human.
you can't be doing that. So I mean, like, needless to say, though, I mean, Applewhite did not take that well.
No, he fell apart quick
Yeah,
after
the walls
she
of that
dies.
dude's sanity came crumbling down,
Yeah, she was probably the only stick holding up the wall.
dude. Like she absolutely was that. That was the only thing keeping this dude from not being completely fucking nuts. You know, and then
Yeah.
she was gone. So now what the fuck do you do?
Getting a ride in a nice little white van with a nice little white jacket with long sleeves.
I'll tell you what you do. You go and you tell the group that she had so much energy that she couldn't be kept on Earth anymore. She had so much energy, it literally blasted her soul into outer space. Like, that's what.
Dude,
That's
did
what
she,
happened.
did she
Well, no, dude. Honestly,
float
though,
like a prism of color?
I looked
Yeah,
in.
it's like- it's
I
like
looked
so
in.
insane.
He truly, like, he doubled down, tripled down
Yeah.
that she was in that spaceship waiting on him.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
done deal. She's up there. We gotta get up there.
Well, I think too, like at this point, like I think almost like anything, like if you tell a lie enough times for a long enough period, you might start to believe that it's true. You might like
Yeah.
start forgetting that's a lie. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think this is where Applewhite is. Like they
Yeah.
have gone so balls deep in this shit that now he's almost like a convert himself.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's how he always thought of himself too.
Yeah, that's true.
But see, after
Yeah.
she dies, she was the one holding them back, holding the cult back from the religious
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
And when she dies, he does a complete 180.
Yep.
He starts throwing religion in there hard.
Yeah. I mean, so like, she had extended to the next level. You know what I mean? Which I think is a good title for the episode, Heaven's Gate 2, the next level. I think that's an awesome like tagline for like this part of the episode.
Yeah, that'd be a great movie, man. Heaven's Gate. Dude, the next level.
The next level. So, and so he also told the folks that, you know, she had a larger spiritual role than he did, and which is why she was chosen to leave early. Right.
Well, yeah, but then again, he like you said, he's always thought she was
Right. To him, that was true.
Well, see, now
Yeah.
he's playing. Now he has to play cleanup.
Yeah, you got exactly. Yes,
You
that's
know,
a great
he-
way of putting it. Yeah. Yeah, he's got to clean up this big fucking mess now that she's gone.
Yeah, now it's up to him to keep this cult going.
Yep, exactly.
When
So
before he didn't have them worries. She took
No.
care of everything.
no. So like and then he started like referring to her in male terms, like the father. So here we go.
Like I said, when she dies, he lost everything.
Yeah. Sure.
His entire mind was gone
Yep.
after that.
I mean, a good time later in 1993, like they are really like up at the ante, man, on their mission. So they spent 30 grand on a full page ad in the USA Today saying that the fucking world was going to end.
What a
It's
good
like a-
time to live.
Dude,
Uh,
it's like
if you got the money, you could just
Yeah.
buy a whole page.
dude, it's
It's
like
just
the
put whatever nonsense you want.
it's like the
Like
it's like
You're
the
like, yeah,
bougie
fuck it, why not?
version. It's like the bougie version of that guy with like the pieces of wood on him. You know, the end is nigh.
yeah,
It's like the bougie version of that.
And to try to make it legitimate, we're not going to put it in the Daily Inquirer or the National Enquirer.
Yeah,
We're putting it in USA Today.
I wouldn't be so surprised if I saw this ad in the Week of the World News.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
That's where I would expect to see it.
I would be like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like Cracked Magazine.
Yeah, I was going
You
to
know
say
what I mean?
Mad Magazine or something.
I was about to say Mad Magazine.
All right, so like here, and like I said, so we're already we're starting to go off the rails here, right? And it does happen very quickly with these guys. So, you know, like spiraling more towards insanity. Applewhite, and he actually convinced a few of his other members too to find doctors, and I believe they found them in Mexico
Yep.
to perform
they
the
did.
surgery where they were castrated willingly.
Oof. Now here's the fun part about that. They
Here's the fun part about castration.
Ready,
tried the castrations themselves.
Dude, that is so fucking brutal.
They tried it on themselves for like, I'm gonna cut your nuts off real quick and see
Oh
what
my
happens.
God, bro.
It did not go well,
I'm gone.
which is why they went for the doctor.
Just the thought of that pushed my wig back. You know what I mean?
Like that's insanity.
I got an innie now, not an outie.
Oh my god. It's like a frightened turtle.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, dude,
like
that
your
shit.
dick won't even come out. He's just like, nah, man.
No,
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 fuck
no.
that. I know what you got in mind,
No,
bro.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found out real quick they weren't
Well, it
certain.
reminds me of like that one thing from like American Dad where he's like, the dude had bashful testicles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what I would have. If
Yeah.
somebody's like, I'm gonna castrate you. They're just gonna retreat inside my body.
Now you think once they first mentioned the whole castration point to him, they would have lost a lot more followers.
Like, dude, are you fucking
No, dude,
They'd
they
be
did.
like, all right, that's
They
it.
lost a few people when
yeah.
he's because how he said it was, I'm considering castration. Would anybody else like to join me?
Right. Wouldn't you do it? If
No,
it yeah.
no. I
Yeah,
don't wanna
yeah. Well,
join you.
he
Well, so like
again,
the reason he
he
did it
gave
though,
them the
'cause he-
choice to do it. He got
well,
like
he-
9
right.
people.
yeah, he didn't make them do it.
No,
It was
yeah,
just strongly encouraged.
he was just
Yeah.
asking them, "Would you
Yeah.
like to do this?"
Yep. Well, they
Because-
believed that this like having any kind of sexuality held them back from spiritual evolution. Like they weren't going to go anywhere because of the sexual nature of being a human would hold you back.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's exactly what he thought.
that's like one of the most
Right.
basic human instincts that there is.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, is where you're going. They don't have a sex.
No,
They don't have that
no.
sexual lust or instinct to breed.
No.
No.
Well, I mean,
So-
like any person, you know, that's desperate like this, you know, what I mean, who's doesn't believe in sexuality, he took to the internet.
Oh, well,
Yeah, and he tried to spread his messages through like little
There's a surprise.
webisodes and stuff like that, and he's got to hit his, the website and all that kind of shit. So he went to the cyber world with it, which might be the first time a cult has ever done that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you
hey,
know?
flat earthers
Most
get
likely.
hundreds of thousands of views.
It's a cult of nerds. Of
Yeah,
course, they were on the
absolutely
fucking
it is.
internet.
Of course, we're gonna watch it,
Jesus Christ.
even
And
if
it
we
was-
just watch it for the crazy.
Yeah. So like the stuff had little effect, dude. Like nobody bought it. Like I
Yeah,
think
it went real poorly for
they
him.
were out of their scope at this point, and this made Applewhite increasingly more desperate. You know what I mean, to fulfill whatever it is that he said was going to come true.
Well, see, plus at this point, he's getting real paranoid. He's thinking.
I think
um,
paranoia comes with the territory, bud.
Yeah,
on this
no,
one.
I mean, like after she died
Yeah,
and this internet thing failed,
yeah,
Yeah, well, now he's
he's starting to
scrambling.
think people are trying to assassinate him.
right. Yes.
So, and this is also around the time where he starts practically giving up on recruiting.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Because
a good
he's
point.
thinking people are trying to infiltrate
Right.
Colt to get to him.
Right. And it was at this time that Applewhite made the decision that it was time for the group to essentially leave Earth
Yeah,
and ascend
because
to the. Wait till you hear this. If you haven't heard this before, prepare yourself. So it was time for them to leave Earth, like, and ascend to the spaceship that was hiding behind the Hale Bopp Comet at the time.
yeah, which is holy shit. If you're talking about a science fiction based cult,
Yeah.
what better time than
Dude,
a
they're,
comet that only shows up once every 75 years?
they're going to be
Like,
beamed up.
Perfect timing.
They're going to
Yeah.
be beamed up.
Beam
dude,
me up,
like a Star
Scotty.
Trek.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing too, is that Applewhite's he's getting real fucking wonky because
Yep.
he can't set up. He's backed into a corner. He
Yeah.
cannot set a new
Timeline.
no,
Yeah.
not even just time. Yeah, he can't set up a new timeline.
Yep.
He can't get anybody to take over the cult when he dies because they've already stated that the Hale Bopp Comet is coming, and that's
Yeah,
when
so if
we're
it don't happen then.
happen in our lifetime.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
has nowhere to go.
Yep. And so, like, this is what happened though. So, like, all this shit was happening. Like you said, he's got to do something, right, at this
Yeah.
point. So Applewhite and the group, they rented a mansion in Rancho Santa Fe, California. If you're gonna die, it sounds like a nice fucking place to do
Yeah,
it
why not?
Yeah.
in California. And they
too bad.
prepared themselves for what they called evacuation. That's when you.
that's one way of putting it. Yeah.
I think that's when you die and all your bowels are emptied.
Yeah,
It's called the
they just empty
evacuation.
out.
I guess it sounds better than assisted suicide.
Yep. So yeah, so I mean, this is kind of the climax of it, man. So I mean, it spiraled out of control very fucking quick after Nettles was dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was only a few years. and they
Yeah,
were
it
done.
wasn't long, man. He couldn't hold it together. And eventually, you know, an anonymous tip led the sheriff's office of Rancho Santa Fe to the mansion. And that's when they discovered the 39 bodies of all the group members, man. And every one of them committed suicide, ready to follow Applewhite to that spaceship, baby.
That's
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
that's terrible scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
And-
39 lives on some crazy shit.
And they did it
Yeah.
in shifts too.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, hey, drink the post what's that shit? The punch.
Yeah.
And then we all go out.
Drink the
No,
Kool-Aid.
it was 5 or 6 would kill themselves, and then the rest would cover them with a sheet.
Yeah. It was like systematic.
Yeah. And then 5 or 6 would kill themselves. I think they did it in 3 different parts,
Right.
in 3 different like sections.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But-
crazy.
The only thing you gotta say is that Applewhite wasn't like the last one to die.
No, he wasn't.
Like most,
No.
he had his followers help kill him.
Yep.
Of course, he was in his own master bedroom on the big old bed.
Yeah.
Of course.
But dude, like, and then I think it was only like 3 or 4 followers left after he died.
He had a bearskin rug in
And
there
they just
too, but
went
it was
ahead and
actually
killed
just a
themselves too, like-
Wookiee costume.
If you're the last few alive, you still gonna just fuck it,
Yeah.
just lean back and go ahead.
Yep. So I mean, you're right. So I mean, after the suicides were done, they found them in what is now known, you know, I mean, like the famous jumpsuits. The I think it was a purple sheet or blanket or something that was over.
I think it
them.
was purple, yeah.
Yeah, super fashionable. And then they were wearing Nike Decades.
Of course.
Yeah,
See,
And here's the end game.
yeah. I want
Timmy gets to
sneakerhead.
talk about
Yeah.
sneakers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sneakers
Yeah, I was
and
about to say
aliens.
the same
That's the
thing, dude.
best
I was like,
episode ever.
I knew this motherfucker was gonna be talking about what kind of shoes.
Bro, they were.
It didn't even
dope.
occur to me.
AF, dude. They were super dope. And they quit making them after that.
I
Like
wonder
Nike
why.
stopped making them
Yeah,
after that.
I wonder why.
I don't get it.
There's only 40 deaths associated.
Bro,
with it.
you can't buy fucking publicity like that.
Yeah, but that's the kind of publicity you probably don't want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think they've always said
Hey,
that even
just
bad
imagine if they
publicity is
rolled
good
with it, though.
publicity.
Yeah, Nike
Imagine
decades.
Nike rolled with it.
Nike
Nike
decades.
decades.
They'll make you jump so high you'll go into a spaceship behind a Hale-Bopp comet.
And after a decade with us, you won't need them anymore anyway.
Why do you call them Nike decades? Because that's how long you're going to be in the cult.
That's the
For
one Michael Jordan
decades.
was wearing in Space Jam.
Dude, that is fucking awesome. Just think of the marketing. Like, nobody thought about the marketing.
Nah,
They just thought about their image.
yeah,
Nike decades. They'll outlive you.
Oh, that's
All
hilarious.
right, so like this, they all kill themselves. They're rocking Nike decades, but everybody's dead. And Applewhite kind of did this on purpose because he didn't want Heaven's Gate to continue after he was gone. Like he didn't want
No.
like a successor, like L. Ron
I mean,
Hubbard
none of
or
it
That's
would
something,
like what I
you
was
know what I mean,
saying.
with Scientology.
No, see, but that's what I was saying earlier was that they didn't set this cult up to be long lasting.
Right.
This cult was only supposed to go on until Hale-Bopp showed up.
Yep. Until Applewhite and Nettles said it was time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was never supposed to be.
I mean, maybe that was a
Anything
true
like
end
that.
game.
One way or another, they were getting their shit done.
Yeah.
One way or another.
They were sitting on a timeline,
Yeah.
and near the end, right up
Well,
until
I think the Hale-Bopp thing was even just like convenient.
that's all it was.
Absolutely, it was.
Yeah, it was
Was
just
that
they
they
it was
found
just
out it
happened
was
to be
coming.
around that time that it was coming. What the
Yeah, it was
90s?
just-
See, the only
you know what I
problem
mean?
is
Perfect
that
timing.
Yeah.
they set it up to where it was Hale-Bopp that was coming. That's the problem. If,
Yeah.
if they would have said an ass, 3 miles wide
Mhm.
is coming, and it's coming in, in a few years, that kind of thing, they could have kept that going for a while.
Yeah.
But they put themselves on a time limit when they said it was Hale-Bopp. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, I mean, but that's again convenience of writing. When you're writing your own story for this whole shit, you can
Yeah.
just pick whatever you
Yeah.
want and
Yeah.
roll with it.
Can't, for it to be in the way that it was, you would have to link it to something current.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yes.
would-
Yes.
Or the next time the Black Knight satellite decides to roll around.
well, it's not even that too, but everybody in that cult, I mean, everybody in the world knew that comet was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah. It was
on a
major news.
preset.
Yeah.
Orbit.
Yeah, it was a
It
big
comes
deal.
at the same time
Yeah, it's major,
time.
major
every
news.
century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Major news.
So
So,
it's an easy plot
It was convenient.
to write.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. It's exactly what it was. It was you mixed in the Bible shit, you mixed in alien and sci-fi stuff. Boom, Hale-Bopp comic comes around. Well, that's a recipe right there.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
then you throw in, just throw in a smidge of evolution because you're going to evolve into a higher form of human.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they sprinkled a little
Just
bit of
imagine if this man was
bunch of
around
different
when the
crazies in
movie Avatar came out. With the fucking blue aliens, remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh God.
He would have lost his shit.
You're like, you see, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, this right here is going to happen, but in real life.
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
it
really-
is
15 foot tall.
I did find out that it is a little known fact that James Cameron survived Heaven's Gate.
Was he,
Avatar is
the,
based on Heaven's Gate's theory.
was he the anonymous tip at the end? You know what I mean?
Loosely based.
Yeah, loosely based on
Real loosely based.
Avatar based on a
Like
true
almost
story.
non-existent.
Yeah.
That's
He
what
came
he
up with the
Two words,
idea
loosely.
Yeah.
because he happened to hear about Heaven's Gate once.
Yeah. Like I just wish it would like the screen would come on. It's like inspired by true events, and like like Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah.
You know?
No, dedicated to Marshall Applewhite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Bonnie
Jesus
Nettles.
Christ. So that's our first cult episode.
Yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, that was fun.
That went
Yeah,
well,
this was
man.
it was even pretty fun to research it.
It was. It really was, man. There was a lot about it I didn't know. And like it's just so bizarre compared, you know what I mean, to like some of the other like well-known cults, you know what I mean? Like the Manson family and stuff, which we all knew was drugs and free love and all that kind of shit.
60s, yeah, that whole
Yeah,
hippie
yeah,
shit.
helter skelter and that kind of stuff. Your
Yeah.
like your kind of run of the mill shit.
Yeah,
And this one was kind of like unique in a
it
way.
was.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
well, especially because they set it up to be short lived.
Yeah.
So it was believe real hard, real fast. Because
Yep. It's coming.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, these
live
guys
fast,
too.
die young, leave a
Plus,
good looking corpse.
Like we've been saying, we've said it 100 times already in these last 2 episodes. Right up till the end, these two truly believed what they were saying,
Yeah.
and you can't really know what Applewhite was thinking those last few months. And yeah, it's not like left a journal or anything.
Yeah, like his
He
true
knows he-
descent into the madness of
Yeah.
our time has come.
Whereas a lot of other cults, their leaders know their bullshit. They know when they started out, I'm just gonna try to get as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Try to get as rich as people. Try
I
to.
bet you I know what he was thinking right there at the end. Man, I miss my balls. Bet you that's what he was thinking.
I'm
Man,
sure
it'd be
that
so
I'm
cool
sure
if I had
that
my
crossed
balls
his
back.
mind.
Well, see, he
It'd
doesn't
be
have to
on my
worry about
mind.
it. He'll get them back when he ascends,
Yeah. Well, they don't need a sex
or whatever.
drive,
Yeah, or whatever version the alien bodies we're gonna have.
Right.
Plus the whole murder cult thing has been way overdone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for suicide cult.
Yeah.
Like nobody like in that cult like took one look at Jonestown was like, I
That's
think
a
I might
bad
be in
idea.
a cult.
Yes.
Nobody
That's the
thought that?
weird part about it, dude. There's a lot of people like it's the ones who got out of the cults.
Yeah.
Like when they're interviewed later, it wasn't until right up before they decided to leave that they realized they were in a cult. Yeah,
Which is just really mind-blowing, man. It's super mind-blowing.
Well, I would think the mantra of the whole thing would kind of give you the first hint
Yeah.
that it's a cult.
well. Plus,
We
what it
believe
is
we're
too,
going to
is
take
that
off in a spaceship behind
these
Haley's Bob
people-
Comet
Yep.
or the Hale
what
Bob
it
Comet.
is, it's too is what I think is that once you've made up your mind, you made the decision, you've ran with it for so long, you don't want to be wrong.
Right.
So
Because you've invested so much to this point.
yeah. Well, that's a good way to end it, huh?
Turn your phone off, you fucking amateur.
I did, dude.
But
Clearly.
yeah, like you said though, but like you said, you've invested all your time. You've left your friends. These people have left their families,
Yeah.
their jobs.
Yep.
Money.
They're sold off their houses, their cars. They can't be wrong.
No.
They don't want to be wrong, and it doesn't even pop up into their head because they would have realized they ruined their entire life if they did.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because then they'll come to the realization that the last 10 years of their life has been a complete sham. And that's probably pretty hard to take. I mean, I'm sure that's like a really
it's hard
rude
to
awakening.
see yourself as the one who ruined your own life.
And just to think, if they had just waited until 1997, they would have saw the Hale Bopp comet be changed to the Bopp comet. That's when Hanson came out. They were that
I think it might
close.
be time. I
Oh,
think
They
it might
were
be
that
time to end
close.
this.
would have just hung on just a little longer.
Yeah, just a wee bit.
Dude, I used Google for that joke. Like I looked up. to
I
see
know you
what
did
year it
because I
came
saw you
out.
put your phone
I
down.
looked up to see what year that song came out. They were so
I
close
wasn't
to it, man. All right, y'all. Thanks everybody for joining us as always. We love every one of you. And yeah, cults. We're gonna come back to it. Not to this one,
No,
but another one. There's
hopefully
plenty of them
soon.
to choose from. Believe me.
Yeah, there's tons of them.
Yeah. There's definitely no shortage. Of
Oh,
crazy.
dude, no shortage of desperate people,
Yeah.
especially in America.
especially
So
now.
thanks for again, thanks for joining us. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at Gamma Ray Podcast, follow us on YouTube at Gamma Ray Podcast,
Okay.
and we'll see you next week, guys.
See y'all later.
Everybody have a good one.